So you have to be a fool to be a master. Now, why is this important? That's crazy obvious, right? As obvious as it sounds, many people are not willing to go through the trials and tribulations of following their dreams or following their goals, or to be that fool in the beginning, to be that fool in the moment. They don't want to go through that short moment of embarrassment, or the short moment of failure, or somebody criticizing them. What you need to understand is that you're only a fool once, or you're a fool for a short period of time until you become a master. Don't let fear cloud your judgment. The reason why I'm making this video is because I was having a conversation with my cousin recently, and I was kind of throwing shots at her because she's a no sabo kid, right? She doesn't speak Spanish that well. At least her Spanish is okay. So I was throwing shots at her, and she was telling me like that she really wants to learn Spanish. She really wants to get better at it. And I was telling her that you need to put yourself in positions where you can learn it. You got to surround yourself around Spanish people that only speak it. And she told me that she was scared. It was like uncomfortable for her because she didn't want to get roasted or say something wrong or whatever. That kind of resonated with me, and I feel like it would resonate with you guys, because not only because of Spanish, like forget about Spanish, but just everything else in your life, like your ambitions and all the things that you want to do, is like people have that fear of embarrassment or fear of struggling or losing or falling flat on their face. People have that fear, but honestly, you just got to jump into it as if you die, you die. And that sounds crazy, right? If I die, I die. Hell no, I'm just not gonna do it. But if you die, you die, right? Just jump into it, go straight into it. If you really want it that bad, you'll just do it. It doesn't stay hard forever. It doesn't stay through the struggle. It doesn't stay through the embarrassment. You don't stay in that failure phase. It's just for a short moment. But just know that if you die, you die, and you know that you'll have the greatest comeback ever and that you'll be reborn. You guys see it in the movies, and I'm not talking about the type of movies where they have a freakish accident and now all of a sudden they have powers and all this stuff like that. What I mean is the blood, sweat, and tears type of heroes. The heroes that worked for their success, like the Astas, the Rock Lees, the Saitamas, the Vegetas, and kind of Goku, except for when he turned into a god or whatever, but that's an argument for another day. You have to be willing to suck. Pause. Part of you has to die. You have to kill off that fear. You have to just go straight into it. Honestly, for those that don't know, Spanish was actually my first language. It wasn't English. I didn't know English when I was young. I was around English a lot, and I started going to school. I stopped using Spanish. I stopped having the need to use Spanish unless it was for older people or, some of my family members that don't speak English too well. But I rarely use Spanish. And so what happened was that I started to lose it, and I lost it. And even now, like a little while ago when I started my job, I started speaking Spanish a lot at work because there's a lot of Spanish speakers. And what happened is that since I lost it, I'd make a lot of grammar errors, but I would just say weird shit that was like, and they'd make fun of me for it. They would make me pay. They'll be like, yo, that's not how you say it. Haha, like, that makes no sense. Like, you sound crazy. And, I just had to take it. And at first it wasn't comfortable. At first I would kind of take it to heart, but then it kind of toughened my skin, and I'm just like, okay. I started craving it more because I knew that it was going to make me better. I knew that it was going to improve my Spanish. And so I would keep on feeding for that. And so I started to speak Spanish. Instead of shying away from it and speaking Spanish less, which is what I wanted to do, I started speaking more so I can learn and get better. And then that's when you start to get the compliments like, oh shoot, your Spanish actually has improved. And you don't get that criticism anymore. You don't get that, oh, you suck, or oh, you don't make sense, or oh, you're a failure. You don't get none of that. But instead you get the like, oh wow, like you're actually doing better. And that's why you're doing it. You're doing it for the gold. You're doing it for the trophy. You're doing it for what you can be. You're not doing it for the hardship, but you're doing it for the growth. So then when you do it, you can look back and be like, damn, I came a long way. I sucked in the beginning, yeah, but then you earned the process. You earned that. You earned it through being terrible at it. Now you're great at it. Now you're a master. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to make, is that a lot of people think that they need to be good at it. They need to start off. They need to have everything perfect and figure it out. Like, nah, bro, you want to make a YouTube channel? Just pull out your phone, get a little stand, and start doing what you need to do. You don't need to have all the equipment first and a name and a logo and like, nah, bro. You really don't. That's just a waste of time. Perfectionist is procrastination in disguise. I went through getting roasted and all this stuff like that. Not only in Spanish, and other stuff in my life that I wanted to learn. And the point of this story is that you don't want to be the smartest person in the room, because you'll learn quickly. Like, I don't know. You don't progress when you're the best in the room. You need to test your mettle against people that are the best, so then you can learn and become better. You know what I'm saying? You can compete with that, and you want to try to beat them more. Work with them and figure out, take the criticism, take the hits, take the L's. You get a bad comment, you get something, even constructive criticism, people get hurt from it. And I analyze myself deeply, and I'm like, am I really like this? Is that true? Is there truth to what he's saying? At least even a little bit. And if it is, then I change it immediately. So then that part of me can be solid. Then they won't have nothing to criticize. And that's the point I'm trying to make. You gotta be willing to be the fool at first. Whether you believe it or not, I'm actually good at a lot of stuff. And that's not me bragging. That's me trying to explain to you that I was willing to be the fool in the beginning. I was willing to get the air knocked out of me. I was willing to eat grass and fall on my face. I was willing to face criticism, especially, and you know what? And you even get it from the people that are closest to you. You even get it from family, maybe your mom, maybe your siblings, maybe whoever, and in any ambition that you're trying to follow, and you just gotta roll with it. You gotta have tunnel vision. So keep taking those L's, keep failing. Sure, it's hard. Sure, it's hard in the beginning, and anything worth fighting for is difficult. But one, it's a process. You know, the more terrible you're at it, the more better it is. Because if you're so bad at it and you come all this way and now you're a master, it's a different type of feeling of when you look at it and you're like, damn. Look at this. Nobody has this. Nobody's came this far. I'm the best. Because anybody else in my shoes would have folded easily. You can only be a fool for so long. You can only struggle for so long until you become a master. And after that, nobody even cared who you were before. Because now you got the result. Now they want to know how you did it. Now they want advice. Now they want you to put them on. Isn't that far more greater than fearing of failure, than going through the failure? Isn't that far more greater? Instead of being the one everybody laughs at, coming back and being the one everybody praises. If there's anything you could take away from this video, I'll say one, don't let fear stop you. Don't let fear of judgment, of doubt, of failure, of people, your family, don't let that stop you. Don't give a fuck. Keep doing your thing. Drown out the noise and take those L's, take those losses, take that embarrassment. Keep on going until you reach that point. Second thing is, if you're the best in the room, like I said, change rooms. You will never grow if you're the best in the room. And you know, if you're not the best and you're not testing yourself against the best, then you will never know what improvement looks like. You'll never know what your better self will look like. You know, it might be good for the ego, but you gotta check your ego every time. David Goggins speaks about this. Don't get comfortable in where you're at. Satisfying being on top, but become even greater and become even greater until you have no competition. But will you ever reach that level? Who knows? That's up to you to figure it out. Once you go into that situation, once you're willing to learn, once you're willing to improve and be the fool, be the failure, be the one that takes those L's, you're already ahead of most of the people that are trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. Because most of the time people just keep it in their head and they stay stuck by fear. Most of the time they want to do it, but they're scared about this, or they don't know how to do this, or they want a perfect situation to come. They want this. There's no other time except for now, because all they do is just think about it or talk about it, but they stay held back by fear. But we're built different. The mindset you should carry on with you is that, yeah, I took that L. Yeah, I fell. Yeah, I'm struggling right now, but check me when I'm up. What I want you to take from this video, but check me when I'm up. Check me when I'm winning. I bet you'll forget about all that. And that's the truth. But I'm done talking. Please like and subscribe, share, comment on the video, you know, share your experience. Tell me how you've grown. I would love to hear it. Mad love. Peace out.